Say, what's the difference between being manipulative or deceptive versus just doing general business? Some people actually think that they're only allowed to have one website. Well, you're allowed to buy multiple domain names at GoDaddy. You don't have to point the new domain names at the first domain name and mask it or anything. Now you can have multiple domain names for the same industry, and you can put them on different websites. And you can have different phone numbers and addresses and company names on the websites. Nothing deceptive or manipulative about that. And yes, you can put them on the same server. So let me throw a couple of concepts real fast. What's one way to be all the front page results for a keyword? Okay, you go buy all 10 of the front page companies and you tell them, don't touch anything. Leave the companies alone. Leave the websites alone. So now you own all of those organic front page results. Do you think Google has any problem with that? No, of course not. Not at all. What does Google want to see? That if people click here or people click there, they're going to get different user experiences that are good for them. That's it. That's all Google wants to see. Okay? Ooh, look at this. Talk about an open door. That's a DR0 website. It's number 4 for the keyword. That gets 250 for volume. Wow, that's cool. So, especially in the case where, people are going to call and get different prices from these guys, I want to point this out. If I look at a couple of these websites, okay, I'm going to see lots of links in the pages too, okay? And they go to different pages of one website that's a blog. This goes to a blog, one page on that website. That goes to a different page of that same blog, different page of the same blog, different page of the same blog, okay? Like literally, I suppose I could just open them and show you, okay? I haven't done this yet, but I'm looking at the URLs. That's how I know, okay? It's a page of the blog, different page of the same blog, same company, different pages of the same blog. Is that deceptive? Well, if it were deceptive, then wouldn't this website that we've been dealing with in the first place here, the buyout company, wouldn't that thing have like no history on SpyFu? Oh, but it does. It shows up for basically 1,500 keywords, about 450 searches a month, and it's been doing that for about a year. Kind of climbed up and dropped a little, but take a look. It's not like they just launched their blog network, okay? It's not like they're on a rise that's going to crash, right? So don't even question it. It is totally legitimate for you to make websites for other people, and if you're a plumber and you understand SEO, you would probably only specialize in plumbing websites and related, septic tank and pool and stuff. But why? Because that's what you're good at. That's what you know. Okay? Are you forced to? No, you can do websites for anything you want. No one's going to tell you what to do. You can do websites for anything. But what's my point? Google expects that a bunch of plumbers in a city are using website services. So let's say 10% of them are using the same website company, plumbingseorus.com, whatever. And so you're that guy. You're the plumbing SEORS guy. So you've got 10 clients in the city and you're running websites for all 10 of them. Okay? You're running their websites. Maybe they're SEO. You're figuring out how to fit some of them in for keywords that are better for certain services that they really like. Maybe they like septic pump stuff, and these guys like pool stuff, and these guys like kitchen and bathroom stuff. And so you're hoping each of them not have to compete too hard, but can you get 10 guys competing? Yeah, because you've got room for 10 guys to be on the front page of Google for every one of these. So sure, you can put them in the map because Google's going to show multiple results on the map. They're either your clients or they're your one client and then other clients anyway. So you may as well have 5 or 8 clients that you can work at getting in the map, if that's what you're doing, right? You're going to have 5 or 8 clients that you're working on getting on the front pages of all those keyword combinations. Sometimes they're going to be in this order, sometimes in that order, keyword by keyword by keyword, perfectly natural, perfectly normal, no problem, right? You have the right. I created 7,000 websites for locksmiths across the nation. They do well. And I have the right to do that. And it's for one call center. It's for one company, right? And they simply show up for as many keywords as they can so that they can get the calls and then take the details down and then contact local locksmiths and sell them the jobs, right? So that's perfectly legitimate. There is nothing holding you down from creating stacks of websites for anything you want. Okay? Just make sure that they're not spin text. Make sure that they're not putting a link in the third sentence of the first paragraph on every single page pointing at some company for the same keyword. That's all manipulative, right? We don't do that. All of our stuff, the way we generate it, it generates content naturally, and when it does link building, it naturally finds relationships between wording and paragraphs and the pages it clicks through to. Some of that's internal linking, some of that's external linking, and we tell them, these websites can only link to these. These cannot link back to these. It's not reciprocal. It's one way. Google expects to see one-way links most of the time, very little reciprocal linking. A lot of what people do in PBNs is they just kind of put them all horizontally, say like 10 websites like this, and then they have them all point links at each other. Then that means +2, -2. Basically, it means that the juice you give yourself, you also subtract again. Okay? Reciprocal linking takes stuff down. The only reason you would do reciprocal linking is there are true humans landing on those pages, a lot of them, and you want to share that with a related company who's not competing with you, but related to you in some way, in exchange for them sharing back. But you're not doing it to rank higher. You're doing it because you have humans worthy of sharing with each other by saying, hey, by the way, if you're also interested in this, click here. Okay? And you're just tit for tatting it. I'll do it for you, you do it for me. Okay. Does that make sense? So if I keep going, what do I want to point out? Oh, I was taking a look at all these companies up on the front page, and one thing I wanted to know is how many of them actually belong to the same company. And I just found a match almost as fast as I looked. This company here has got the same basic top layer for the IPv4 as this, which basically means they're both hosted on the same server. Oh, I want to make that point real fast. Is there a reason why you need to get a different hosting account for every different client you work with? Say you're working with the plumbers in the city. Does Google require that you have a different IP address for every single one of them? No. In the old days, it was part of their algorithms. At one point, they realized how stupid that was. Because if you're in business and you're trying to offer good pricing for plumber websites, why would you have to include an entire server for each next guy? Why would you even have to buy a different IP address for each next guy? You only do it for particular reasons. They want to use certain email protocols, or one of them is doing a lot of mailing out, cold mailing, and you don't want it to affect everyone else on the server, right? Anyway, I think you get the idea. Now, why would Google allow one company to have a couple of different websites? I'll tell you. Matter of fact, I don't even remember why I came here. I just want to point this out. Take a look. Does this website look or feel like this one? No. This website can certainly, the company can certainly set up both websites. Either it's the company itself trying different angles to see what works best. So they're setting up the different websites to see what keywords they show up for, how people act to it, how long they spend on the pages. They let the rank rise and fall on each of these websites independently. Okay? And sometimes they'll show up next to each other for the same keyword, which is how I found them in the first place. They were both showing up for the same very desirable keyword that gets 250 searches a month. But Google wants to know that these are totally different user experiences. The verbiage is totally different. The images are different. What they're saying is different, right? Even though it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. They're exactly direct competitors as far as the websites are concerned. Even if they are two different doorways to the same company, nobody cares, because you could always buy both. You could buy both companies. You could buy all 10 companies on the front page if you want to be all 10 results on the front page. Google could care less. All right, just letting you know, PBN networks use all the stuff basically the same. You have to plug and play pretty much everything. In our case, it's not. It almost looks plug and play because it's so automated, but the amount and intensity of effort we had to put in to make that possible and yet keep it unique, it's something else. And to keep it natural, it's something else. All right, hope that helps.